Bam! There you go, Chad. That was for you. We got Star Homestead, India. Welcome in. Good morning. This is probably your first time ever seeing Lee Evans live of a morning. It's been a long time since I actually come in and did a live on a Monday morning. We got Michael Murillo. Good morning, sir. My brother from another mother from Iowa. And fishing with Big Mike, the Tennessee takedown killer. Now, Mike, it's too damn cold for me to be out fishing. Hey! And I actually thought about it, though. I really did. It entered my mind to go out and fish today and yesterday and the day before and the day before that. But it ain't happening. I just got too much to go on this week. I mean, J-Dog wanted me to come up and go fishing with him one day this week, but there's just too much going on this week. Tristan, where he's a senior in high school, they got a lot of senior things going on, I guess. And well, hello, Rhonda. Good morning to you, dear. And he's also doing track, and then he's doing the recruiter thing at the recruiter's office twice a week. And so that means that I have to pick up the baby girl from school. And Dalton and Sierra's moving this week, so I'll have Embry a few days. So it's just a bad week, and it's probably a good thing. It's wintertime, so, you know, it ain't no skin off my back, or however that saying may go. How's everybody doing today? Huh? Come on now. It's Monday, January the 9th. God, we're already into 2023. 2023, y'all. Back in the 80s, they wrote songs about 2025, and we're only 2 years from that. There's Bugman. How you doing, Buggy? Good to see you, my friend. It's been a long time coming, ain't it? Oh, man, it's such a wonderful, wonderful feeling to be back with you guys. I mean, it's just weather had me spoiled around here with the 70s. Now it's 30s. Can't wait for the spring. Rhonda, you ain't kidding. I've been, doing a few things here and there, preparing myself for when springtime does get here. Miss Lisa Elliott, good morning, love. Preparing myself for spring, getting ready, because I plan on doing a lot of different, the way things are going now, the way life is in general. You never know what's going to happen. And ain't that the truth, Buggy and Rhonda? Ain't that the truth? There's my beautiful wife, Amy. How you doing, love? Good to see you. Uncle Lou, Uncle Lou, Uncle Lou, Uncle Lou. He said, I'm driving and listening. Must be driving to the local porta pot. Ain't nothing like a wonderful, wonderful cup of Java. Jody. Jody said, who that? Who that? Hey, Jody. This is a guy that can't fish, but loves to fish. True that. But see, I'm so discombobulated. Here I go again. I would get to reading chat, and then I can't remember what I was wanting to say, and how I was wanting to say it, and when I was wanting to say it, and why I was wanting to say it. Oh, well, see, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Huh. But it's good to be back on here to see you guys. I'm just preparing for this early spring. I'm buying skipjack jigs and new skipjack lines and rods and reels for that, and getting better. He said, no, back to see my mom. Oh, man. You mean your mama still claim you? But just getting ready for the time when it's right, you know? Because when you go fishing, you don't just go to throw stuff in and take off and go. You got to have stuff ready, you know? And I'm trying to get my stuff ready. That way, when I do go fishing, I'm prepared and I can fish. I'm not trying to prepare to fish as when I should be fishing. Jody, you want to come up, love? Jody, I don't know. Just probably more. My guess is Lee Evans will be more in Tennessee, and because that's just I have more success down there on skipjack than I have anywhere, and which I ain't done a whole lot of it, but you know, I've I've watched you guys, listened to you guys, and took mental notes of what you're using when you say you're catching them and stuff like that. So I go and I'm getting this stuff prepared that when the time is right, I can take off and go and catch bait instead of trying to buy the bait. And because man, when you go trying to buy a bait, hey, when 3 skipjack cost you $34 freaking dollars, Jesus. Hey, there's Cody. Cody. What's going on, brother? Well, Jody, I'll be taking lessons from you, that's for sure. I've listened to you and I've listened to other people going down there. And, you know, when we went to that Jerry's bait shop, I actually went in there that one day when that guy that supplies them with the skipjack, he was in there one day. And we sat and talked for probably 20, 30 minutes about different things and the areas to catch them and stuff. You know, he's like, hey, he said, I do this for a living, catching bait and selling it to the bait shops. He said, but I am not beyond helping somebody else catch fish, you know. So, hey, that shows me right there that he's a true fisherman. He's an outdoorsman that just sportsman. Eric. How you doing, Eric? Good morning. Cody, you want to come up here this morning? I know you ain't doing nothing. I know you ain't doing absolutely diddly squat sitting there on the phone, looking at it, looking at the phone, looking at the TV, looking at the phone, looking at the TV. But you know, just me personally, I think a person needs to be prepared to the best of his financial and knowledge ability, and you can never learn too much. I mean, you're always constantly learning. You know, when fishing and stuff like that. What? Face turquoise covering eyes, face turquoise. What the fish snatcher is going on with him? That's all right. That's all right, Cody. We ate Mexican last night, and so my tummy hurt all night long. I had they got a new thing. Well, let me rephrase that. They got a meal up there that's new to me at the Mexican restaurant we go to. And it's actually two brothers. It's called Dos Hermanos. And they started a Mexican restaurant and they make circle hook skipjack rig. Huh. Brian Beast Newsin. Well, if anybody wants to come up, they're more than welcome to. I'm not beyond, you know, some people that, you know, Lou. Did I say that out loud? But everybody around here got the sniffles, and we're finally starting to get over it around here. You know, one thing I like to. Hey, Skip. Good morning. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you too. But I just want to be able to throw a cast net and have about 15 skipjack in it one time. Wouldn't that be awesome? I got me a new cast net, and hey, it's the best one I've ever bought, y'all. Y'all can say what you want. I might have been buying super cheap stuff before, or no, because I had a good person on here in my chat supply me with two of them, and they were really good ones. But the one that I've got now, I got it off Amazon. It's at H2O. It's a 7-foot cast net. And it's heavy, man. For 5 throws, I'm wore out. But I have got it pretty much where I can get it great. So I went out the other day when Scott from Bluegrass State of Mind and them, they got a video out of them riding around in a boat with a drone out on the lake. And it was 3:00 in the afternoon, and the fog was on the water at 3:00 in the afternoon. I stayed up for a while on hog legs, then went back to sleep. The alarm just woke me up. I got up in time this morning to catch the end of the show, and I got carried away catching up on the football score because I fell asleep last night. What about them Lions? Put it on them Packers. That's what I like. Aaron Rodgers can go on back home. And in Tristan's fantasy league, he had I think he said a 21-point lead going into the late games last night, and he lost by 2 points. Who? Shut up, Super Smurf Eric's fishing. Shut up. Are you just mad because your Buckeyes can't even get out of the playoffs? Hey, but we got the Bengals, Eric. We got that in common. We the Bengals. Who they think they beat them Bengals? Let's play that intro one more time. It's just the beginning. I'm trying to work on it, but I don't know if it's going to work or not. Let's try it one more time and see what y'all think. Lee, you faked us out. I seen your thumbnail and thought we was catching fish this morning. Cody, you know better than that. What thumbnail did I even put up there? See, I've slept since then, Cody. It's just something different. I work on it as the day goes on, but I'm trying to get back to my normal routine, 8:15 to 8:20. I got to get Chad, bam, ready to go. All right, Rhonda, I'll give you a heads up. I'll make a live before the live to tell you I'm going live. Morning, Matt. See, I stay back here, and with the glasses, it's blurry, and it's a little clearer. But when I get to where I'm supposed to be, the glasses make it clear, And when I take the glasses off, it's blurry. So, blinded by the light, racked up like a deuce, another rumor in the night. How is everybody doing today? It has been a long time coming. It's been a long time, been such a lonely time. Well, let's do this real fast. Let's put them on the spot. Let's put him on the spot. Mm-hmm. Answer the phone, buddy. Well, Cody, come up here and talk about it. Because evidently J-Dog ain't going to answer the phone. Jack Willie. That Jack Willie. Cody, get out of bed, go to the couch, get yourself a pop, get you a chocolate donut, wash your toes, and get up here. Y'all see? Oh, shoot, drop that. My neighbor, she does all these, you guys know them pallet sales and stuff like that, you know, and she does a lot of that. So she had bought a pallet. It had a whole bunch of these. That's metal. And she was selling them $2 a piece. So I bought me one, $2, you know, a bunch of $2. I don't think I paid her for it. I think I need to go pay her for that. It's been a while. My work is slow right now. I'm going to have to start cold calling lenders soon. Don't know what that means, but hey. All right, Cody, get you some coffee. Call the dog. Call the dog pound. Get the dog pound rolling this morning. But now the kids got me a gift card, you know, from Cabela's or Bass Pro and stuff like that for Christmas, and so that's how I got them reels. Line counters, baby. That way you know where you at. But I just got to figure out if the braid registers different on a line counter than mono, or if they're set up for mono counter. You know, you got to know how much line you got to put on there or all that. I don't know. I'm learning these things. That's the sound we want to hear. And so I bought two reels. I ordered a bunch of jigs yesterday just to do skipjacking with, and ordered some lighter line to put on the skipjack reels and rods and stuff like that. Buggy, she does the pallets. The way I understand it, she goes up there and they'll have like 50 pallets set out in this little warehouse, and each pallet will have a number on it, and they're wrapped up where you cannot see what's inside the pallet. Just, I think the very top of it might be open, because she said they give you 15 minutes to walk through. And she said there'd be a line of 100 people walking down through there looking in on these pallets. You can't touch them. So then what they do is you write down that number, and then you go up to this board and you write your bid down with your number on that number. And after 15 minutes, they come through, and whoever's got the highest bid on that number gets it. So, but she done that last year, and she won this pallet, and they loaded it up in her truck. She got all the way home and went to open it up, and it wasn't nothing. I think she get $500 for this pallet. And she opened it up, and it wasn't nothing but a whole bunch of Easter baskets and Easter eggs, plastic Easter eggs. So, I mean, she was sitting on about 150 Easter egg baskets that she had to sell somewhere. But different places do it different ways, Bug Man. I mean, I don't know. She's told me of other different ways. You just go in, you can buy them straight out. I mean, but I know there's 2 or 3 open up in our small town, places like that. Must be some money in it, or they wouldn't be doing it. Brian B., you at work today? We know Skip's working. We know Cody ain't. We know Buggy just said he wouldn't. Matt's probably sitting on the toilet. And say, Big Mike, I don't know. The weather's pretty messed up. He might be working. What you doing, Scuzz Bucket?
Fixing some coffee.
Cody's lost some weight.
You are not lying with all these people watching.
Well, Tally wouldn't lie.
That's why she laughed at you. So who all is fishing Winter Whiskers this weekend?
I have no idea.
Huh? I didn't know you wanted some coffee.
Well, you always ask. You've been married long enough to know you always ask the woman first.
She normally don't drink it.
Then you act like you don't hear. See? Then that way you get away with it.
Get the comments turned on this TV here.
Brian B. said, now that Cody's up here, the show just went downhill.
We'll see you later, Brian B.
It's called the Winter Blues.
I know.
What'd you call it?
Winter Blues. That's what it's called. Sorry.
Y'all been fishing?
We fished Saturday.
Y'all doing good?
Caught some decent fish.
Good deal.
Didn't catch any big numbers. Caught 4. First and 4-pound channel cat, then a 19-pound blue, then a 13-pound blue, then a 43-pound blue.
You keep going up. I started to go, but I just can't bring myself to go to Wilgreen no more during the winter. Me and Jim was talking about it, and we're just like, how come, when November rolls around, that's a nice fish.
We'll see if I turn the brightness down, you can see it better.
Everybody's asking, said, how did it go with the TV show guy?
Like crap. Trolling motor bit the dust about an hour in.
Dang, you new trolling motor?
Yeah, battery went bad.
Oh.
We had about 30. Well, actually, it didn't go bad. It just run dead. We had 30-mile-an-hour wind that day. So they said call them, give them 24 hours heads up, because we told them we can anchor fish. They said, well, we really want to fish dragon baits. And so we sat around just bull crap for most of the day. And then they said, give us 24 hours heads up and we'll be wherever y'all want to meet y'all, wherever y'all want us to meet y'all at. So we're going to film a different day. So just got to find time. We've got plans for the next couple weeks. So.
Well, this time of the year, you never know what the weather's going to be like either from time day to day. I mean,
I think we'll take a minute. I think Saturday the weather's not supposed to be bad. The wind is.
yeah.
I don't think the wind's supposed to be too bad. Supposed to get a warm rain. I think I looked at. Yeah, Thursday, 80% chance of rain with it around 60 degrees outside. So water temperature might stay where it's at, even though the nights are a little cooler.
I started to go out a few times and even thought about, well, I'll go down to the river and go up to but then the river's, just being lazy. That's the reason I asked that the other day. I said, is it bad to be too lazy to go fishing?
I mean, it can be a lot of work. Just, I don't care for fishing by myself just because I don't want to do everything by myself. I don't want to unload the boat by myself. I back the trailer in, Daddy pulls the boat off. That's a lot easier than backing the trailer in, climbing up in there, tying the boat off on something,
Mm-hmm.
that second man, it cuts the work in half. So,
and even after you do all that, when you get out on the water, I mean, you got to do everything. And if you got a big fish up, netting a big fish is not an easy thing to do.
No. Especially, like you said, if it's a big one that wants to pull drag where you're just, you're doing good to keep him at the water with both hands. And then you're over here, got one hand held way up here trying to get that rod high enough. And then,
yeah. Well, in your case, though, y'all got the Terova, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You got spot lock. You can hit that spot lock button, or you can, yours will stay on course. But for me, see, I have a fish pull me around and it turns the boat. Well, I'm not only trying to fight the boat to keep all the other lines from being tangled up. I'm fighting the fish. I'm trying to get the net, and it's a booger. I mean,
yeah, I couldn't imagine because even with the Terova on a big fish, one that's really fighting there at the side of the boat, even with the Terova set on the north setting where it wants to just keep its line, it'll get that back into that boat moving. So if you're doing a foot paddle, trolling motor, and dragging, that's going to be a headache. Got catfish and dreams this morning.
Catfish and dreams. Good morning, sir. How are you? Who do you think that is? Oh. No, not who I thought it was, but
he's still asleep.
I called him. He ought to wake up.
Probably got his phone in there sitting in the living room on charge.
He said, I have perfected dragging without iPilot. Okay, buddy. My thumb goes constantly back and forth on that remote control.
Oh, you don't have iPilot, but you've got the.
Yeah. I got the co-pilot, and.
Right. Which is better than the foot pedal.
Shoot, yeah. I used to do the foot pedal thing.
Yeah. I remember you used to, and for some reason, my mind still went back to when you used to go out there with the foot pedal. I wouldn't do it. If it come down to just you, Daddy tried doing it a few times.
It was easier with the handheld tiller. I mean, one of those the handheld.
Yeah, the tiller handle.
Tiller handle on the trolling motor than it was with the foot pedal. He said, I have a foot pilot.
Well, Brandon, you're putting in some work. You got calf muscles made of steel then, you sitting there.
Yeah, because you're constantly.
Well,
that's if any wind's blowing. There's lucky Ronnie.
I seen on Tic Tac the other day, you went out and fished with Ronnie, didn't you?
Yeah, we went down to Tennessee together, spent Wednesday, Thursday, and most of the day Friday.
Did y'all do pretty good?
I think we caught 70-something fish, I think.
Catch some pigs?
2.0 did. He caught a 40 pounder, and then Ronnie caught a 20 something, and then most of them was in between the 8-10 pound range. But
That
hey,
many fish in that range, that's a heck of a day, a heck of a trip.
but that's a lot of, there's a lot of them that was, smaller fish, but hey, action's action. I don't care where you're at.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. They don't call him Lucky Ronnie for nothing. Why his side of the boat got all the fish, I don't know.
Ronnie's a good fisherman. The one time I got to meet up and fish with Ronnie at Taylorsville, though, he wasn't lucky that day. None of us was.
He was talking about that down there, and everybody showed up.
He told us. I think he was the one that picked where we were going to put in at, which we fished the whole lake that day. Basically, Chad met us. We met Chad and Chris and Ronnie and them there, and Alicia Barnett met up and went with Ronnie, and all 4 boats skunked. I said, "Oh no."
Buggy, we were dragging for a while, but I think we only caught, I bet, a handful of fish dragging. When we anchored up, that's, I don't know. Have you ever watched this guy called Top Knox Fishing? Mark Cooper, they call him. He fishes down there in the Tennessee reservoir systems. And he's had some videos about some guys that there's an older gentleman that catches fish, and he actually wrote a book about catfishing and fish in general. I think we discussed this once before, and he said something about fishing off these certain places, and so I said, well, I got on the Navionics and I looked and found a bunch of them places, and we went and fished those, and man, he's right on the money on where the fish are laying up in this time of year.
Well, the biggest fish we caught Saturday come out of 8 foot of water.
I think we was catching most of them in anywhere from 25 to 35 foot.
Now,
but that's a whole different scenario fishing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, I caught here just a couple weeks ago. I caught that 51 pounder, and or whatever it weighed, and it come out of about 30 foot of water. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, it come out of 30 foot of water. So yeah, it's what, 90-pound fish, 100.
I know my shit wouldn't take care of that. Oh, sorry. One Ton Fishing Club. Hey, Ronnie, it was a blast going out with y'all. I didn't take y'all. You just rode in the boat in the truck. Y'all took me to school out there. But hey, I enjoy it. If I'm catching fish, it's okay. It's all right. But when you're with somebody else and they're catching fish, it don't get no better.
I love having people in the boat catching fish, This Saturday, which I wasn't going to enter into any more tournaments. I never do good in tournaments. But Kelly talked me into me and Daddy taking him out Saturday to fish Chad's winter blues. So Kelly in the boat, we probably ain't going to catch nothing.
You never know. It's that time of the year. You don't know what's going to happen out on the water. One day you might slay them, and the very next day you not catch a fish. I mean,
well, I'm getting my excuses ready right now, Lee. Okay, just let me get my excuses ready. All right,
Kelly, if you're in here, son, they're already blaming you, buddy. You're 5 days away. Yeah, the lake was, Jody, I'm not saying that it's not. I mean, but that day the water must have been down, because you can ask Ronnie, you had a drop from the top, from the ramp down to the water like that. So, and Ronnie said, "Where's the tournament?"
Oh, it's Chad's Winter Blues tournament. So it's just an online tournament. You can fish anywhere. But me and Dad are going to fish our first tournament, in-person tournament ever in February. Greenwell had mentioned that we should fish the tournament on Old Hickory Lake in
Man,
Gallatin together.
I seen that. I'm thinking about it.
Well, we're going to fish it. Greenwell's going to get in the boat with us, so it's going to be awesome because Greenwell's a very experienced tournament angler. So it's going to be really nice having him in the boat helping us out. And so us three are going to go all fish it together. We're actually next weekend, we're going to go down there and try to do a little pre-fishing. It's the same place we went and caught those skipjack last time. So probably catch some more skipjack next weekend. Probably won't try to catch as many. I just don't need them. I've been giving people skipjack. I don't want to just take out more than what I need. So catch some to use that day. Don't need to freeze a bunch more. What day is that in February? I forget. Let me see here. I got a picture of it in my phone. February 18th. February 18th. Winter Whiskers. Okay, that's where I was getting Winter Whiskers. That's what the tournament and the in-person tournament is.
I was going to try to explain to Jody what I was talking about. Jody, if you can see that picture there, that's the front of the boat. This little bar right here on my boat, if that back axle drops off the back of that boat ramp, that right there will sit on the boat ramp itself. And if that drops behind the boat ramp, the edge of the boat ramp, you're stuck. You ain't getting it out unless you have somebody raise it up.
Skipjack was no good for us.
We did that, Jody. We stacked up rocks and everything. The bluegill was the bait of choice that day, them 2 days. I mean, we couldn't catch nothing on skipjack. You throw skipjack out there and it just right off the hook. You throw a piece of bluegill on there, boom. And we got lucky. Ronnie threw the cast net and got like 10 or 12 in one throw, bluegill about like that. Perfect.
Lee, I know you like high striper fishing. I'm going to send you a video. I think these are hybrid. But when we were out scanning for a catfish place to fish, I'll send you a video of what we was marking. I mean, they were big fish, but I'm pretty sure they were hybrid. Let's see here. Lee Evans. Anybody want a Dalmatian? I want to get rid of one.
There's Mr. Curtis. Good morning. Mr. CVA. Good morning.
I got a Dalmatian right there if anybody wants one.
You yell fire truck. Does he run and get in the truck?
No, he don't listen to anything. You can put that up on screen and see what everybody else thinks they are just by judging by the graph. It's a traditional and a down image.
All right, let me figure out how to share. Well, no, I don't know what I'm doing, Cody. Share.
I figured you'd have to send it to somebody in a Facebook message the way you used to.
That's what I'm doing right now. Whoever gets this don't mean nothing by it. I'm just sending it so I can have it. Oh, you got 2 of them?
Oh, I sent you a picture at Fish just to show you. That was the big fish Saturday.
Good fish, Cody. You're like me. We got to learn how to hold a fish to make it look presentable.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm just so. It really does make a difference the size of you. You know, I'm 6'2", 6'3". I think 6'2.5", and then I'm 280 pounds. Fish look smaller when I hold them. You take somebody short and skinny holds one up there, like that fish Kelly caught. He held up there, it looked monstrous because he's so scrawny, you know.
Yeah. I can't remember. Cody, it's been so daggone long, I can't remember how to do it.
I think you hit the present button.
Oh, see, that's new. I ain't been done this one so long. All right, present. Then
It ain't how you go. You was the one that showed me how to do it. How am I showing you, telling you how to do it?
I don't know. I don't know where it's at. I know.
At the bottom of the screen, mute, stop cam settings, present is how it is on my screen.
Yeah, but when I sent it to my messenger, I don't know how to get to my messenger back on the computer anymore.
Oh, well, I ain't got a clue about that.
Ronnie, but you caught a lot of fish. He had 3 doubles or 4 doubles. One on the line and another one, and one in the boat and another one, and another on the line and another one. Now, Curtis, that is not a shock that Green Bay lost. You can only live on luck for so long. All right, if I go to present and video file, where would it be in my? No, I didn't save. I remember.
All I know how to share is like if you open up another tab and you can share that. That's the only way I know how to do it. I don't know how to do what you're talking about, like save files and all that. I have no clue.
See, the thing is, I don't remember my passwords. And I got a different, I try to remember it, so I make a password, and then the next one I go to something else, and I was like, man, well, we'll do it like this. Best way I know how to do it. Man, there's a lot of fish down there, though. And 14 foot of water. Man, look at your water temps, man.
Yeah, that one spot, it was warmer than everywhere else. The water temp's been being around 40, 41, and we found a spot where it was warmer, so we went shallower.
Wonder what caused it to be warmer right there? An underground spring or something?
No, the water was muddy, and I think it in other areas. So I just think the difference in the water clarity, the muddy water will change how it absorbs heat. How much light penetration it gets and stuff.
I actually sent that to Uncle Lou so I could have it on Messenger. He just messaged me back. So I thought you was listening, bro. Man, I tell you what, though, that fish Jody said it was caught down there, it's a monster. She sent me that picture of that big fish. Hey, Geno Smith deserves to be in. Man, look at that, man. That is a monstrosity of a fish to be in the wintertime.
Yeah, who caught that?
That's the one Jody sent. I guess it was caught down there somewhere. That's what I'm thinking.
Was it 70 pounds?
That's the same one as that other picture.
Is it?
Yeah, just same fish, I guess. No, I don't know. It's got different clothes on, so I don't know. Jody said he was in a tournament. Well, that one fish probably got him the win. Well, Uncle Lou, get your stepson up.
Somebody with Facebook, go on there and tell us who's fishing the Winter Blues. That's the only place I know that he would have it posted.
Yeah, Jody, that's the same guy that I talked to at Jerry's.
87 or 90. Yeah, it looked like a 90 in another picture. That second picture didn't make it look as big. But pictures are hard to guess the weight by. You know, it's just.
Well, for years, all you heard was if pitchers add 10 pounds all my life, you know. Squirtus the Curtis. She said, Brandon, yeah, buddy. I mean, we standing there in that bait shop, and he's a big old feller. Brandon is. Said Big Mike said Hooks, Catfish Viking, and Kelly Bullock. He might be, Uncle Lou. He might be, but I doubt it. My guess is he's sitting there with a big old chocolate donut and using the last of the tissues that Jody sent him.
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah, and I've seen this list. Daddy looked it up Saturday. I don't know why I was forgetting it, but I just got it text to me. So January 14th is Mike Greenwell. Then Dustin Nichols. Who's Dustin Nichols?
That's at TSW, ain't it?
No, I don't think so. Team Snag and Whiskers. His last name ain't Nichols, I don't think. Dustin Nichols, Chris Lee, and then it said Kelly Bullock and 3+1. Hey, I want my name first on the list. Put Kelly on second on that. Jerry Parker and Josh Dunnigan, Bobcat, Timmy Bullock, and Pontoon Jody. Oh, we fishing against Pontoon Jody Saturday. Jody, you been catching any fish?
What's the rules on that? Is it just amount of fish or weight or?
I think Chris told me it was 3 biggest fish, but I don't know. So let's see here. 43 plus 12.5 plus 19 is 74.5. So this past Saturday, our score, if that is the rules, our score would have been 74.5.
Jody said yes, but her boat is down.
So is she not fishing Saturday now? And then he's also having it. Day 2 is the following Saturday, the 21st, and it says James Thorne. I don't know who that is. River Warriors. And
Who's
then
that?
Danny Stone and Richard Cluck are fishing it together. Zach Lewis is Viking, right?
Yeah.
Zach Lewis, Brian B., Freddie Beck, Pam Hollinger, and then Team Snag and Whiskers. So I guess Dustin Nichols isn't Team Snag and Whiskers.
She said she might use the bass boat. Ronnie said you'd have to get with Chad to see if there's any open spots, Ronnie.
I talked to Chad the other day, and because he's going to be on our show this week, I called him about that, and he said he didn't have any spots open, but he did. He had one person on reserve for if anybody drops out. Lucky Ronnie, you probably already hit him up. I'm sure there's always a few people end up not being able to fish there at the last minute, so you probably hit him up.
Miss Chrissy Brown, you just sent me a text. It's on like Donkey Kong if you show that. She's a screenshot queen.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure O's was a hybrid that I sent you marking on that the other day. If I had a swim bait in the boat or something, probably could have caught a couple of them.
Well, see, I ended up ordering me a couple of swim baits like that. I just typed in best hybrid striper swim baits under $10. And it showed up, it showed me like 3 or 4 different ones. And so I picked the cheapest ones, and I'm wanting to get one of those umbrella rigs, but somebody said you can make them yourself.
Alabama rigs.
Yeah.
I got the rules too. This is I hadn't seen these yet either. Only blue catfish count. Must have signal to stream the live feed. If you lose signal, blah blah blah. Link will be sent. Oh, must be caught rod and reel. 5-hour fish limit, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. So I guess what is that? So is that 7:30 a.m. our time?
It's a total hour. Just move it up an hour. Move it back an hour.
Right. So 7:30 to 1
Yeah.
our time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 7:30 to 1 our time, or my
I
time.
think that, to me, that benefits you guys, because to me, the earlier you get baits out there, the better you are. You know.
Which we did Saturday. We didn't get on the water till, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock. We was being lazy Saturday. Fish cannot be snagged. Biggest weight of 3 win. And it says winner of the tournament must join the bait shop afterwards and not any other talk show. Thank you, Christopher. I hope we do decent in it. Last year we didn't fish it, but Fin Seeker TV and Whisker Seeker Outdoors fished it. They didn't have a good day that day, but we actually had an awesome day that day, and we would have had enough fish to win it that day. The day we decided we wasn't gonna fish because we don't ever do no good in tournaments, and we had an awesome day. 1 second, wife's leaving here.
Can you see that right there? That's the one I ordered. Plus, I think there was no, Uncle Lou. That's what I got to figure out how to do with that braid on there. I don't know. I guess what I'm gonna do is, I know how wide my carport is. I'm gonna stretch out 24 and see if I reach. It counts out to 24 on it, and then I'll know. You see them reels I got? They're $49 or $59 on Bass Pro Shop. It's all solid steel, aluminum, or whatever that is. Line counter. I don't like that clicker even when the clicker's off.
I wouldn't mind having some line counter reels because I think it'd be nice just to try to get I've got a good, decent idea of, we put the lines out enough that we got a decent idea. We're putting them out about the same place each time. But a line counter lets you really dial that in to where, all right, this is getting the spread you want. You just let the line out to what the line counter says. That'd be nice.
Well, I'm going to do it for that striper. That's the only reason I basically bought them with the line counters, because when I went out on that striper guided tour, he had them all, and he was sitting there and he'd say, okay, I got the 51 feet. Well, you look at your line counters and you know that you got 51 feet of line out. So he would be watching the fish finder and he'd say, okay, drop them down 60, 60, 61, 61. And you just start going click, 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 watching the client, the clicker and the counter, and exactly, because I guess those fish come through at different depths, you just want to present your bait right to where they're at.
Right. Yeah. For if you're fishing completely based off what you're seeing on the graph, I could see it being a giant tool. But this coffee's running through me. I'll be right back, Lee.
When the bait's down, you're in 90 feet of water. I don't know how far down there without a line counter I am. I can pretty much guess, but He said if you can be 3 feet off and you won't get fish. Smoke on the water, catfish on the line. Yeah, Murillo, I guess it's all right. I mean, sometimes I want to, I don't know. It really don't make a difference, I don't guess. But like Uncle Lou said, I'm going to have to figure out to make sure that the correct amount of lines coming out. He said, I learned from a Lake Erie walleye fisherman. Brandon, my cousin, taught me a lot about line counters, fishing walleye on Erie. He has his own charter out there. Ronnie? Well, let's just check the weather here. 25 wonderful people up in there. If I missed y'all, I apologize. Let's see what are you talking about fishing? Taylorsville, or are you talking about fishing? Well, Thursday we have a 70% chance of rain, and Friday a 50% chance of freaking snow. Oh, but next week we're climbing back up into the 60s. When you're dragging, if you don't match terminal tackle to the conditions, your bait isn't where you think it is. Oh, yeah. Danny. I got to get back to work. Here's a thumbs up. Oh, I appreciate you, Danny. I was watching some of our old, he said, I'm talking sooner than that, but I was watching some of the old videos from last year when I would do lives and Danny was in there. And he used to say all the time, boy, I want to fish with I want to fish with Lee Evans. I want to fish with Cody. I want to fish. Now it's, do they want to fish with me?
Who's that?
Danny. Remember how you used to come in here? I want to fish with Cody. I want to fish with J-Dog. I want to fish with Lee. Now, when Danny goes live, oh, them boys need to come down fish with me now. He's made it so famous.
Yeah, Danny's big time.
Yeah, boy. They're downtown Ernie Brown. From glass tops to rollers, you got to do it different. Constant changing. Art. Nobody wants to fish with me. Quit taking J-Dog's place.
Heck yeah, Danny. That's awesome.
I was in and out of your live a few times, Danny. I'd stop in. I couldn't stay in very long. It's a J-Dog. I ain't never heard of her. Well, since he ain't here, we're going to talk about it. Or talk about her. Yeah, that's what it was.
Which Saturday was our first trip of this year, and I'm going to log every fish I catch this year. I kept up with, wrote down everything I thought would be relevant. So I'm going to try keeping up with it, see how many fish we catch this year, whatnot, start trying to keep up with everything.
Ronnie, I don't know. I can't travel anywhere fishing this week because unless I fish a local around here, because I have to be back to school to pick up a little bit sometime around 2:00. So that just, it makes it hard when you're out fishing. And if you start catching fish, you got to roll them up and what? I sure hope that is on a video downtown Ernie Brown.
Me and Daddy's got plans to go spend the weekend up with J-Dog and fish. What is it? Last weekend in March. I'm going to meet up with J-Dog, Chad, and Chris. Do some fishing. First time ever on the Ohio it will be.
Hey, speaking of drift socks, you see what Local Lou said to you there?
Uncle Lou, no, I just wrote it in a notebook. Just
But
wrote it in the notebook. I need to get one, but
I got a drift sock that Uncle Lou had sent me a drift sock, and I swear, the first time I ever tried to use it was up on the Ohio River. I really didn't know what I was doing. I throwed my anchor out, let out 75 to 100 foot of rope, and anchored off, and the boat's still kind of just doing this right here in the current. And I didn't know, and I threw that drift sock out there, and something it turned around and whoo, it popped out like that right there. And the next thing I know, it's pulling boat, anchor, and all down the river. And I was like, oh my God. I was passing up stuff. I mean, trying to reel in all the rods, get the anchor up, pull in the drift sock, and it weighing 5 million pounds. And then Roger told me to tie a rope to one of those little sections there that changes it around so it don't. And then Ronnie kind of showed me the other day how to use it. So
yeah, you got a long rope that goes to the back,
yeah,
and a shorter rope that goes to the front. So the short rope gets taut, and the long rope doesn't ever have any pressure, so it lets it open up. But you grab that long rope and flip her upside down. You trying to pull that water back?
That's what I was trying to do.
No,
Get a big 50-inch drift sock. I mean, man, I thought I was going to sink the daggone boat. I was back there trying to pull so hard, me on the back of the boat and pulling 5 million pounds of water. And
Big
like,
Mike, I'm not sure. I'd like to get back down and fish Chattanooga, but also Wilson Wheeler's just as close, is about the same amount of 4.5 hour drive for us, and I really want to go fish Wilson and Wheeler. I've never fished there. I'm sure we'll be back down to Chattanooga at least once or twice this year, though. We went a few times last year.
when you go back to a place like that you've been to, let's say, example, Watts Bar, do you try to go back and fish a different spot when you go down to somewhere like that, or do you just kind of go to the same spots that you know?
I do it wrong, and I tend to go to similar spots. And you pigeonhole yourself doing that.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything about the water, But then also, if you think you could catch fish in this spot, it's like I just drove 4 hours plus or longer, 4 or 5 hours to get here. I don't want to go try somewhere that I don't know if I'm gonna catch fish. Like, I want to get on fish, so I'm bad about just going to the same spots if I think they're going to work. But I think you ought to be trying new spots a lot more frequently than what I do.
All right, when you go to a new spot like that, and do you use your same tactics that you did on the last place? That same similar, you look for the same similar bottom bait structure, do you look for that same similar thing there that works here when you go to somewhere new?
I mean, it just depends on what I'm trying to target. There's going to be multiple things. Like, if I'm going to Tennessee River, it's completely different than what I'm trying to target at home.
Yeah.
At home, I like to target flats and ledges that aren't going to get me too awful snagged a bunch because I'm constantly dragging. When I'm on the river, I'm pretty much only anchoring. Hadn't gotten good at doing much else on the river, and I'm not good at anchoring anywhere. But I don't know, just stuff that I think's fishy. Especially if I'm on the river, I'll look for places they can get out of the current, or I'll look for current seams, structure, things that they're gonna relate to. When I'm on the lake, I don't care about structure that much. They're not trying to hide from current or anything. They'll get into some ambush points, but it's different.
But I've also noticed too that when we're on Watts Bar, where we go at down there is very, very little current at times. I mean, so I fish it just like I do the lake.
Right. Yeah, Watts Bar I think is going to be completely different than fishing like Nickajack right there below the Chickamauga
Oh
Dam.
yeah, that's totally. You know, people say, "Oh, this is the same." It's totally different. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Down there,
And then,
you have 2 mile, 3 mile an hour current. You know.
right, and then like going to Wilson and Wheeler, it's so unless you're just right up against the dam, it's so wide open that it's a lot similar to lake conditions. You know, I mean, so.
And I also noticed that sometimes in some of those great old big, you know, almost 3 mile sweep and bend in the river, 3 or 4 mile sweep and bend on the outside of it, you might have a mile to 2 mile current. And you go to the inside up there and it's dead still. You know, there's a little bit under the bottom, but it ain't nothing like it is on the outside when it's 3/4 of a mile wide and 3 mile bend, you know. I think people have to take those into account when they're fishing that. I mean, because we
I mean,
fished the inside bend and caught one fish, went to the outside bend off a big point, and within 5 minutes, 2.0 had like 6 fish on the boat. I mean,
I know how to catch fish on my home lake. I've caught fish everywhere else I've been to, but I've got a lot more confidence giving advice on my home lake than I do other places. I don't know what I'm doing, but about halfway. So get lucky and catch some good fish every now and then. I mean, not great fish like some other people catch, but they're good to me.
well, I ain't wrote it down or nothing, but I've been, you know, I take them mental notes of basically where I've been catching fish. You know, that's what me and Ronnie was down there, and he's like, "Well, we go across through here." And I said, "Well, we can pull right through here." I said, "We've only caught a couple of fish every time I've ever been down through here, and we didn't get a bite. But we went out into the main channel, total different."
Well, all right. Take like the trip you made up and fished with us. All right. We were fishing a flat.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a big difference from one side of the flat to the other in depth or anything. But, you know, you could fish the channel side of it, and you would, I think traditional thinking would be like right there, that shallow flat next to that deep drop ledge of that channel would be good. And like I told you, I said, it's not going to be as good over there. And, you know, if you moved into just one little area of this flat, the fishing was, you know, significantly better. And if you're scanning through there, it looks like the same, the bottom's the same texture. Yeah. It's relatively the same depth. There, you know, it's a little bit different in depth as you get closer to the bank, but it's pretty flat. And water temp's the same and all that. You're marking the same amount of bait. There's something that makes those fish want to get in that one part of that flat. I don't know exactly what it is that makes them get there, but
you know, what would you say that our boat, we were probably at a 20 foot different line of path.
Yeah,
from y'all that day,
or 20 yards,
20 yards,
maybe 50, 60 foot. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't far.
And Ronnie, he liked them clay banks down there. He said thought we caught more fish when we were on the clay banks compared to where the rocks were and stuff.
Where's that at?
Down at Watts Bar.
Yeah, especially when the water's colder. I think they like having places that they can bury themselves up when they're not feeding.
Yeah, about every fish had some mud on them, so it wouldn't.
I like mud flats. I fish mud flats a ton. And but you can do great fishing rock walls too, because when there's not a ton of structure right there immediately for them to hide behind an ambush, they'll run these shad balls into the rock wall and use it to pin their bait. So rock walls can be really good too. I don't fish a ton of rock walls, but I know that they can be great for catching fish. But yeah, like you said, you were on 20 yards on this side of me. If you go 20 yards on the other side of me, the bite is a lot better, you know.
And I know you was telling me to get over there, but I was trying to be smart ass and show my own. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's not the point. You know, the point is, like, you wouldn't think the bite would be that different when it looks the same. just by hopping over, 5-6 boat widths. And it makes a big difference. So there's these fish, you could think there's no fish around, but you can make just a little move in an area and then you're catching fish. It's not that there's no fish around. There's just
Well, it's just like when we go to Wheel Green, I can pull my certain way that I always go. I mean, it's just I don't have track all that, but I know where I'm. My points in the distance. I'm within going straight around and get to looking back. I was like, well, I caught fish right over there the last time. So why ain't I over there? It's just I don't know. You make choices to. Or J Pup finally got up.
Yeah, and like Big Mike says, there 5 to 10 foot of movement can make a difference. It can be a small amount of movement and it make a really big difference.
No, Chrissy, I don't remember how to get to my Facebook Messenger anymore. Somehow my Facebook is logged out of the computer, and I don't know how to log it back in. I do, but I don't know the password.
You know what I think a lot of it is in some of these spots is how the wind hits it. Like that spot we're just talking about specifically. It's got that dog leg to the right there. I think the wind that funnels through there, the right side of that flat doesn't get that wind that's funneling around. But the left side of that flat does get the wind. So I think it pushes the bait kind of more condensed where it's getting that wind. Yeah. And I think the wind makes a bigger difference than what people think, on locating these fish.
That's
if you
like
use the wind to your advantage.
Well, that's like when I was talking about that guy at the bait store that Jody and him, that supplies the bait store down there with the bait. He actually said that when he goes out to skipjack fish, he said, pay attention to which way the wind's blowing. He said, because if you know what you're looking for when the wind's blowing, he said, where the skipjacks are more than likely going to be. He said, over time, he said, you'll learn it,
I tell you what, I've only ever been skipjack fishing twice. And I went once to Kentucky Dam and fished with Danny and them, and I only caught, I think, 3 skipjack that day and caught some Asian carp. Didn't do good at all. But then I went to Gallatin and fished, and Jeremy showed us where the warm water discharge was there. And if the skipjack are biting, that's as much fun you can have fishing as doing anything. I mean, they were a blast.
I bought a bunch of jigs and stuff like that, so I'm ready to get on it because, man, I tell you what, I can say it a million times, and I know y'all might get tired of hearing watch bar. But when we were down there that one afternoon, the water in certain areas would just start boiling. And I'm talking fish like this long was coming up out of the water just everywhere. I was like, what in the world is that? I didn't know. I'd never been in a skipjack bowl before.
Yeah.
You throw over and you just throw right in the middle of it and start railing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like that day we went, we caught 131 in 2 hours. I mean, we caught a crazy amount of skipjack in a little of no time. And it was a blast. I mean, and we were catching big skipjack.
I bought white. But see, Jody, the last time I talked to you about that, you said they're biting on red. So I bought white, red, black, yellow. And yeah.
Here's what we caught every one of ours on. And that was just a jig head, 3 jig heads tied on or 2 jig heads tied on a D loop down your leader. And then at the end, a spoon, a Foley spoon.
Yeah.
And we, on those 2 jig heads, we had white Mr. Twister curly tail grubs. And that's what we caught everyone. See here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we caught. Look, they're as big as the cooler.
See, that's why Jody said I have never used red. That's probably why she told me to go up there and use red, because she know they wouldn't be catching, Just for that, Jody, guess what?
We filled up 3 coolers completely to the brim. What Lucky Ronnie say here? Let's do Barron versus T-ville.
Ooh.
What are you talking about, Ronnie? What you want to do, like a stream? Do a little fish off on a stream?
Jody, you might catch 500 skipjack, but I do not think you will catch 500 fish for the year.
I don't know. 500 skipjack don't seem like it'd be hard to do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Skipjack can do it, but 500 catfish? There's only 365 days a year, so you don't have to catch.
Well, how many days a week does Jody normally fish? 2?
2 days a week.
So what's there, 52 weeks in a year? So what's that, 104 trips? So that's five fish per trip.
And if you miss a trip and don't catch none,
you got to catch. Yeah, right. But
yeah.
You got to average 5 fish a trip, 2 to 4 days a week. So 2 to 4, that's an average of 3. So if you're talking, 3 trips a year, 3 trips a week, that's 156. So 500 divided by 156 is you only got to average a little over 3 fish per trip, 3.5 fish per trip.
Well, Jody, I hope you do, though. I really do. That would be a goal. It's good you set a goal to go out and try to get. My goal is to go fishing more.
Ronnie, we'll do the fish off under one condition. I'll do the live stream fish off with you like you want to do, if you'll make plans to come down and get in the boat with us and fish with us one day.
There you go, Ronnie. Hey, J-Dog, come up here for a minute.
Oh, what did I click on?
Ronnie said deal. Well, Jody, if I catch one more over 50, I'm gonna feel like my year is made. If I catch one over 50, I ain't worried about no 5 or 3 or 2. I just want one.
Well, we didn't fish for 8 months out of the year. 4 of the months we didn't fish, and we caught on Barron. We caught 4 over 50.
Well, Chrissy, we're praying that you and Ernie do stay healthy enough to fish this year, and then we can all get together and fish more together.
So we caught 4 over 50, and we caught quite a few fish that were close to 50. Like Daddy caught that 47 the day you were in the boat. Kelly caught a 47 when we took him out.
Well, Tristan caught that big 40 something.
Yeah, what was it, 44?
Yeah, something like that.
42. He caught a 38 and a 42 and a 22 that day.
Yeah.
Hey, Tristan had a good day that day.
Yeah, I went back and watched that video, and his face when he turns around and goes, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I love it.
And I've asked him to go fishing. He said, "Why would I want to go fishing with you and lose?" And he said, and not catch fish like I did with Cody. And I said, "Shut up! I ain't taking you now."
Yeah, but we just had a good day. We only caught 9 fish that day. How long did we fish? 2 or 3 hours? 3 hours.
4 hours at least.
4 hours. So 9 fish in 4 hours, which ain't setting them on fire, but it's a decent day. But we all caught. Well, the fish Daddy caught that day weren't that big, but every fish I caught was over 20. I'm thinking I don't know. I can't remember. I had to go back and watch.
I went back and watched a bunch of them videos and, just trying to get the fever again. I don't really have to have nothing to fire that fever, but just.
I still crack up at which that day that me, you, and Daddy went out, I had to leave because
You sick that morning.
I got sick, and but you over here saying no, get it, Larry. Lee, get the rod. That fish got to the boat, and Lee said, should have got that rod.
Oh, look at Ronnie bragging on his own self now.
Heck yeah, what's that? That's a 40, 50 pounder, ain't it?
He didn't catch nothing like that when I was with him. I did go up there by myself one time, Taylorsville, and I got way back in there. I didn't realize how far it is from that boat ramp that I went into to the dam. I mean, it's really not that far, but when you first time on water and the lake's just kind of swinging around like it, you really don't know how far you've come. And I caught one that's 31. Ronnie said he got that on the kayak.
That's awesome. So I hadn't said
there's going to be timed out for bringing that up. That is, ancient history. That is history that is to be forgotten. The pack and play incident.
I hadn't set a goal for how many fish to catch this year, which we don't fish a ton. We fish on average 4 hours a week, 3 hours. I don't know, 3-4 hours a week. We fish one day a week for not a real long amount of time, and so we're not ever going to catch just huge numbers, just not out there enough. But long as we catch some good fish, I'd like to catch this year. We caught 4 over 50. I'd like me and Daddy together to put 5 over 50 in the boat this year. That'd be awesome.
I know it's probably won't never happen, so I can't say that it's a goal, but I'd like to be in a boat with somebody else and at the same time have 2 40+ pound fish on at the same time.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I mean? On both sides of the boat, just rods just hammering,
And I'd like to see Daddy beat his PB this year. So I'd like to see him catch a 70 pounder this year.
Well, we're praying for Ernie, Chrissy. Well, Cody, I started smoking again, so I smoke cigarettes, and I'm about to absolutely die if I don't have a cigarette, and I don't smoke in the house. So I'm about to die right now.
All righty. Well, it's good talking to you this morning.
Well, I'm just going to have somebody else come up. If J-Dog come up, it would take me 3 minutes. I'll go out there and hotbox that thing.
Yeah, that's why I keep clicking my camera off, smoking this dang vape.
Oh, I can't do them vapes. I just can't.
Well,
Ronnie done a vape down there in the boat. I got so damn on hungry every time he'd hit that thing. Smell like cotton candy and cookies.
Thank you, Ronnie. We've got lucky. I mean, I keep my expectations relative to where we fish. Barron's not that great a place to fish, but it's close to home. Nowhere way around.
Say what you want, Cody. Y'all, between you and that other guy, that Whiskers,
Randall,
and then you got the one guy that we went to the cookout with. I can't think of
Jeremy. He don't even catfish no more.
Yeah, but he put some good fish. Y'all put some good fish in the boat down there this past year. I mean,
Jeremy has started his own guide service. He went and bought him some live scope and stuff, and he does crappie and bow fishing guide trips now.
Nice.
So if anybody's ever wanting to go out on a guided crappie fishing trip or a bow fishing trip, I think it's Barren River Lake Charters is what it is on Facebook, and he'll get you on a mess of great crappie. You'll have a blast. So.
Last year I didn't see him personally, but Jim did, and he said he was out there catfishing, and it was nighttime, and he said there's a boat come up through there, and he said, man, he said, I'm telling you, he said it was lit up, looked like a space shuttle coming in for landing. There was so many lights on it. He said, and there was 2 guys standing up on a platform on the front of the boat, and they were that's what they were doing, shooting carp, bow fishing. He said they told him that they had got over 30 of them. I don't know if they just leave them in the water or I don't know.
Ronnie, who's your buddy that fishes Barren? Barren the thing about Barren, it can be finicky. You can go out there and fish for a while and just have the hardest time with it. It can be really hit or miss. There's no current or anything. The fish are spread out. You gotta get out and put in some work to get on them sometimes. But
No, Chrissy, I'm not. I'm ready to go. If I'd smoke it in here if I know Amy wouldn't come home and kill me. I know it,
Robert.
Chrissy.
I don't know him. I don't guess I know him. Robert. I'm trying to think of Robert I know that catfish a lot. But yeah, Ronnie, need to hit us up. I'd love to get you out in the boat with us one day, make a full day fishing trip out of you fishing with us.
He said he knows you.
Robert. What's his last name? Robert what? See if
It's at least another 8 hours before she even gets home, Chrissy. I can air this place out.
Robert Dixon. The Dixon last name sounds familiar. Robert Dixon.
Everybody right now is going straight to YouTube going.
God, that name sounds familiar. Robert Dixon.
Well, J-Dog didn't come up and sit with us today, so.
Yeah. I'm about to have to get up and fix me some more coffee.
I know it. I'm out of coffee. One cup did not satiate me. Now, she knows I wouldn't smoke in the house. He said he does the tournament at T-ville.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Talked to him a time or two.
I think it's the guy that when I called that tournament that goes on up there at T-ville. They got a number on that tournament Facebook page, and I asked him about fishing it if I could get in it, and he's like, "Yeah, but do you have a minimum of a 50-gallon live well?" I was like, "No, sir." He's like, "Well, you can't get it unless you have a minimum of a 50-gallon live well." I was just gonna bring a big old tote and put it in the boat and put aerators and stuff like that in it, keep the fish alive. He said no, because if you start at 7:00 and by 3:00, if you catch one early, I understand his point. So, if you catch a 40-pound fish 15 minutes after you got out and you got to last at 3:00, 3:30 that afternoon, you better have something good enough to keep that fish alive, because I sure don't want to kill it. I mean, and I don't want to let it go to.
Yeah, see, we've got 2 live wells in Daddy's boat, and I keep forgetting I've caught 2 fish that were big enough that I could test fit them in the live well. Daddy's isn't, but I think like 40-gallon, or maybe it's 38-gallon. But it looks like it'd be plenty big for at least one big fish, and then the other one will hold, two smaller ones or whatever. But been aiming to test fit them, and I keep throwing them back before I try them out in the live well because no reason for me to put them in the live well other than I just want to test it out, and see what size fish will fit in there. And I keep forgetting.
Well, I've been talking to the local bait shop up here. They do a lot of bass fishing, and they got different ways that they keep them alive. They got tablets they throw down in there, and I don't know. And I just like, I don't know. It just seems to me like water changing out would be the best way. Because if you're adding chemicals to the water, I mean, when they go back into the lake, they ain't got those chemicals. I don't know. I'm learning.
Ooh. Let's see here. Well, Lee, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go fix me some more coffee. I'll be watching you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Cody. Thank you.
See you.
All right, everybody. It's been an hour and a half. This is way longer than I thought I'd last. But it's time for the Downtown Ernie Brown Show, ain't it? All I wanted to do was look at Michael Murillo and go, BAM! Y'all be safe. Love each and every one of you. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. Here comes the boom 2. But I appreciate y'all. So, all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. There's Zachariah. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see y'all on the flip side.